Hi, I'm Theo, and today we're at Kenwood. We're doing a beautiful falafel recipe. So I'm super excited to be on the Kenwood Facebook page, and really great to meet all you gorgeous Kenwood community as well. And we're making falafels today, because falafels are delicious, and they're healthy, and they're vegan. And they're not like the stuff you get in the supermarkets, these hard little tasteless round balls. These things are aromatic and delicious, and it couldn't be easier either. I'm going to run through what sort of ingredients we've got and what we're using. So we're using the super duper Kenwood processor. Official name is the Kenwood Multi Pro XL, which is a massive convenience actually, because it's just all going to go straight in there. Super easy, and we're going to have these wonderful falafels that we're going to fry. So we're going to make these falafels, and then they're going to go on a bed of a harissa yogurt. So it's a real simple bit of harissa, bit of yogurt, mix it round, a couple of other bits in there, and you can make that vegan as well if you wanted to use, for instance, a coconut-based yogurt or something else rather than Greek yogurt. So really easy. And also really cool, I've got a coupon named after me. So if you go on any of the Kenwood World websites and you put in Theo10, T-H-E-O, and the digit 10, you get a special promotional offer. Cool, the gift that keeps giving. So let's run through what we've got. So besides our Kenwood processor, we've also got about 2 tins of chickpeas. So that's about 480 grams, sort of drained weight if you like. And we've also got about 40 grams of plain flour. And the reason for the flour, traditionally it doesn't go into falafel mixture, but since we're cheating on this and we're using tins of chickpeas, the flour will just hold them all together a lot better. If you want to sort of boil sort of raw chickpeas and make them from scratch, you can leave the flour out, but we're going for super convenience on this one. So chickpeas, about 480 grams drain weight. We've got sort of 20-30 grams of parsley, and that's the stalks and everything are going in. About the same weight of fresh coriander as well, and then we've just got some cumin seeds, about a tablespoon, just under, about a tablespoon just under again of baking powder, and that's just to give a bit of lightness to the falafels so they're not sort of too dense and hard. And then we've got some coriander seeds as well, again about a tablespoon, just to give it some aromatics. In addition to that, we've just got 1 simple onion, and we're going to put in a couple cloves of garlic. Couldn't be easier, right? So let's crack on. So, and I'll run through what's going into the yogurt recipe in a little while, but for the meantime, we are just literally going to dump everything in. So we've got the knife adapter on this, and our chickpeas, they've been drained and they're going straight in. Now we've got our parsley here, and again we're just going to rip that in half a couple of times, make a mess, drop that straight in. Again, with the coriander, let's rip that, pop that in. Actually, do you know what? Let's save just a tiny bit of coriander just to garnish at the end. So I'm going to place that just there for the garnish. And then look, the cumin seeds go straight in. Pop them in. Coriander seeds straight in. And then we're going to save our baking powder just once everything's incorporated. So look, we've got here as well our onion and the garlic. So look, most of the recipes I do, for those that don't know me at all or haven't seen me before, you know, my background is Greek, Cypriot, it's all Mediterranean based food, and it's casual, you know, so if you're not keen on onions, leave them out. If you like lots of garlic, put an extra clove in. If you don't like much garlic, take an extra clove out, doesn't matter. This is sort of foolproof, this. So we've got our onion, we're going to top and tail it with just a regular brown onion. You could use red onion, shallot, whatever you fancy. And then we're just going to peel that first outer layer off, just to give us a nice clean peeled onion. So let's do the same with this one. Right, and pop them there. And then with the garlic, so we've got 2 cloves of garlic here, because I think we'll make it a bit punchy. Really, the easiest way to do this is rest your knife on the garlic clove, give it a whack, just to crack the skin. Then if you cut the sort of stalk end, you can just peel that garlic straight off, and you get a lovely clove of garlic without having to make much mess. Great. So let's do 2 cloves of garlic. Okay, there we go. So look, I'll tell you what, let's give this board a quick clean. So we'll leave our garlic thing there, let's pop this away. Right, so with the onions and the garlic, we just want to help the food processor combine everything fairly evenly. So just cut them in half and then into sort of thirds, just in chunks, just to give it a little head start. And straight in it goes. And I love this sort of cooking because it's easy, it's so easy and it's so convenient. And with the garlic, we're just going to cut these. Again, just running the knife through it, not overly worried, just to help it combine. Pop that in there. So that's everything in there. And you'll notice we've not put any oil in there, we've not put any lemon juice, because the looser that is, the more that they'll sort of fall apart in the pan. So we want to keep this quite a dry mixture. We're going to need a bit of salt, so let's put in a good sort of teaspoon, a big pinch of sea salt, maybe a couple. And bear in mind, you're going to probably get between sort of 15 to 20 little falafels out of this, depending on how big you make them. So that amount of salt, you need to taste it, but it's not sort of too much per person, if you like. We're going to put a bit of pepper in there. So look, you can freestyle this. If you haven't got coriander or parsley, you can put dill, you can put mint, you can put tarragon, it doesn't matter really, it's all sort of different flavours. A bit of chilli goes really nice in this, but I've got 3 kids, 10, I can't remember their ages, 10, 8 and 4. So normally with stuff like this, I'll cook things without chilli in it, so we can all eat it, and I've got a little bit on the sides. And this is where our harissa yoghurt will come into play, which has got a little bit of punch to it. So I'll show you that in a minute. First, let's get these falafels going. Right, so we've got all the ingredients in there. We're going to put about half of our flour in to start with. So that's about 20 grams. We're going to pop this on the lid. And what we're going to do first, we're just going to pulse this just to help things get going, and then we're going to blitz it. And we don't want a paste. We want it quite a coarse sort of consistency, a bit of texture to it. So we're just going to pulse it a bit first. Okay, and you'll notice straight away with most of these things, the bottom part starts to get really blended and the stuff at the top sort of sits there for a bit. So just take off the lid, grab yourself a spoon or a spatula, and be careful with the knife blades in there. You don't want to touch them or blunt them. Just break up the edges a bit, just scrape it in just to help it sort of course quite evenly. Let's pop that back on. So easy, I love it. Easy peasy. Okay, so let's give that another little mix, and you'll see now it's thickening up really well. Okay, look, that's our falafel mixture done. So we're going to take the lid off. Remove the knife, you know, safety in the kitchen is paramount. So let's get the knife out there, the blade, so no one cuts themselves. And let me just show you this sort of consistency that we've got now. So if you can sort of see this, and bring it over to the camera a bit. So there's a bit of chunkiness to it, you know, it's quite pliable. And at this stage, taste a bit. Tastes pretty good to me, but it needs a little bit more salt. Let's pop that in there. And now's the time for the baking powder as well. Let's just put that over it. And then we're just going to stir that in with the spoon. And there we go, we've got a lovely sort of consistency here. We're going to start to make these now. So, we're going to be shallow frying these. And look, when you're sort of frying with vegetable oil and stuff like that, there's a misconception that that's really unhealthy. But the secret is about getting that oil hot. So that when you drop something like a falafel, whatever it is you're cooking into the oil, it immediately sizzles, it immediately sort of creates a skin, if you like, a crispy exterior on whatever it is you're cooking. And that stops the oil being absorbed into the food. So you get this lovely crispy exterior, It doesn't soak in much oil. Drain it, it's great. The problem lies if you put something into oil and it's not hot enough, then that oil starts to seep into it, and that's where you get something that tastes a bit oily and is not very interesting or nice to eat. So we're going to put some vegetable oil into our frying pan. And look, we're using quite a small pan here. I'm going to do half a dozen. If you're going to cook all of them in one go, you could use a bigger pan. But we want this to be about an inch sort of deep, if you like. Let's just turn that on. And the way to test if that's right is just to pinch a little bit of this, drop it in, and we want it to sizzle immediately, but not sort of be so strong that it burns to a cinder. Now, as said, we've put in sort of probably 3/4 of our flour. Check your sort of falafel mixture. This has sort of come together. You know, it's quite tight. It's not too bad. I'm going to add the rest of that flour in actually. So depending on the chickpeas you've got, what the water content is like and everything else, you may need a bit more, a bit less flour. But ultimately, this is just to help things sort of stick together, hold together. So look, that's all mixed in. Grab sort of like an egg-sized amount, it's about that much. And the cool thing with this is you can make this mixture in advance, leave it in the fridge, fry them whenever you want, doesn't matter. Right, so that's our sort of falafel. Looks a bit like a hockey puck, I guess. And we're just going to do sort of like half a dozen of these to show you what they come out like. So again, roll them into a sort of a ball, pat them down a little bit, and that's just going to help them cook equally, sort of on all sides. And they've got this lovely green like hue to them. I mean, it smells so aromatic, and a lot of that is the onion that's in there as well. So it's great, right? Let's do sort of 5 of these, good 5. Nice odd number always looks good. So just roll them around, pat them a little bit more for this one. And these are great because you can have them in wraps, you could, and we're going to do them on a sort of yoghurt base, which are great for sharing on such a beautiful hot day like today. So we pat those down a bit. And I'm just going to check the oil now. So just grab a little bit of the mixture, like literally just a tiny bit. Let's drop it in. It's sizzling. It needs a little bit hotter, so we're just going to turn that up a fraction. If it's too hot, it runs the risk that it obliterates them. So we just want a middle ground. You can roll these in flour as well for an extra sort of crispy exterior, but these have got enough flour in that they should be okay. So let's just drop these in. And remember, we're not really cooking these, we're just trying to give them a nice sort of crispy, crunchy exterior, a bit of contrast in the centre. Right, so while they're cooking, we're now going to make our yoghurt base, which is really simple and delicious. So give your hands a quick wash. There we go. Right. So the ingredients for our yoghurt base couldn't be easier. We've got probably about 250 grams of Greek yoghurt. We've got a few sprigs of fresh mint, and we've got a little bit of harissa paste, so we're cheating on that. I figure let's make life easy for ourselves. So just strip the leaves off the mint. We don't want the stalks with this one. And again, you could use dill for this instead, you could use tarragon. It's just to add a bit of freshness to it. So strip the leaves off, just hold it at the top, pull down, pull the leaves off. Nice and easy. Done. Right, now get the leaves, crunch them together into a tight sort of ball, and then just shred them with a knife. And again. Right, so that's our mint straight into our yoghurt. These need a quick turn, so let's turn these over. Slightly bigger area down here. More. Okay. Right, we're going to leave them cooking. And so with our yoghurt, we've just got that mint in there. Let's give that a little stir. Just to combine it all. And now I want a little bit of olive oil just in there. Just a smidge, about a tablespoon. Stir that around. And look, as we're using the harissa paste, I'm not going to add any salt because there's going to be enough there anyway. So what we're going to do to plate it up, so we want it to look really good, we're going to put this straight onto our plate. Oh. Big dollop like that. Well, these are getting done, so I'm just going to take these out of the pan. You can sort of see that lovely crispy exterior. Just pop onto a paper towel. Okay, let's leave that there, turn that off. So we're just going to let them drain while we might finish this. Then get some harissa, and this is the cheap bit, nice and easy. Grab sort of a heaped teaspoon, pop that in there, and just swirl it around, just so you get some lovely streaks of colour. I mean, it's a beautiful colour in this. On the plate like that. And we were sort of trying to avoid it being too sort of monotone, if you like. Let's pop that there. And look, that's our base done. So now we're going to get these falafels. We should let them cool a bit. Let's get them on there. So we've got these falafels. Let's pop them on. And let me just show you what these look like up close and get the colour of this. I mean, look at that. Break that open. Look how gorgeous that is. Delicious. Amazing. Right. So just break up the coriander. Actually, you know, let's get 5 falafels on there. Let's break one open just to show it off a bit. So we're just going to trim some of the leaves off the coriander, dot them around. Just make it a bit interesting, really. Oh, my mouth is watering. I can't wait to have some of these. Make them a bit different areas, different shapes. Let's get a little drizzle of olive oil to finish. Done. Look, that's my easy, super easy falafel mixture, falafels on a harissa yogurt base. Mwah! Let's have a little close-up look at that. Anyway, thank you for letting me invade the Kenwood Facebook page. Remember, you can get any of the Kenwood products. Just use the code Theo10 on the website, and have a great weekend. Ciao!